the new skins are looking like the old skins. John Riggins meets Stephen Davis. The old hogs meet the new hogs. And the fun bunch meet one fun offense. However, down in Tampa, the Bucs are trying to start their own tradition. They got a hog too, you know. And how about that defense? Warren Sapp, Derrick Brooks, Hardy Nickerson, and John Lynch. Enough said. Can a rookie QB lead Tampa Bay all the way? Or will the skins say the Bucs stops here? It's strength against strength as a capital offense wages war with the NFC's top D. And it's time to get it on. Pregame show brought to you by Invesco.
Brad Johnson coming off of an outstanding week last week over the Detroit Lions. First 4,000-yard passing season of his career as well. As we take a look at Shaun King, 4-1 as a starter. A young man who plays with poise, intelligence, and discipline as we're down to the NFC's Final Four. And if you're wondering if being off a week hurts Tampa Bay or St. Louis, keep this in mind. Since 1990, NFC teams with the first-round bye are 17-1. As I welcome you, hello, everyone. I'm James Brown, and welcome to this Fox NFL special and the Invesco pregame show. It's the divisional playoffs, and I'm joined by my guys, Chris, Howie, and Terry. And I would ask you in the conventional way, but what's happening?
What up? What up, baby?
No, I'm not going there. You're not going to mess with him?
No.
Oh, but in his commercial, what does he do, Howie?
Get yourself. Yeah, that dog thing, man. Playing that dog, Howie the dog. I mean, what is that?
He doesn't have 8 agents like you. He's got one. He's trying to make a living. Leave him alone.
And unlike you, I take
And a
acting
free-ridden
lessons.
dog that's got
You
gas.
didn't do that, did you? I said, unlike you, I take acting lessons.
All right, folks. And I had the nerve to ask him what's happening. All right, folks. Let's get started. Today, the Washington Redskins, with the NFL's second highest scoring offense, visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the NFC's top defense. Calling today's game, along with Matt Millen, is our own Dick Stockton. And good afternoon, Dick.
And good afternoon to you, JB. Look at that sky. A splendid day for football today as the Redskins and Bucs go at it. And the question everyone is asking, what is the condition of the Redskins running back Stephen Davis, the #1 runner in the NFC this year? Now, the story is he injured his ankle last week against the Detroit Lions, and Norv Turner told us that it's just where it was a week ago, and that if he does not aggravate the injury, he could play the entire game. That's good news for the Redskins, who will also have Corey Raymer at center today, despite the fact that he has an injured pulled muscle. They will not have Andy Heck. He will not play at left tackle today, and Kip Vickers, a 5-year veteran, will make his first start in the Redskins uniform. As far as the Bucs are concerned, they're going to be missing their third leading receiver, Riddell Anthony, and he re-injured a strained quad in the final pass of practice the other day, and he is out for today. But what an afternoon this could be for Shaun King, only the 5th rookie to start a playoff at a quarterback since 1970, and Shaun King, a local boy who has made good in his first playoff game, and his high school in nearby St. Petersburg saluting him at Gibbs High School, hoping that he has a good game today. And right now, let's go down to Pam Oliver, who's on the field with the Bucs head coach Tony Dungy. Pam?
Thanks a lot, Dick. Tony, let me ask you, his teammates like to call Shaun Smoothie because of his cool demeanor. Tell me why you haven't lost any sleep about starting this rookie in this key game.
Well, Shaun's been in a lot of big games, and he's played real well for us down the stretch. We just feel confident that he'll play well today.
It's really Washington's strength, their offenses, versus your strength, the defense. What is your plan of attack today?
Well, we want to keep the ball on offense, see if we can keep their offense off the field, and then defensively, we got to try to eliminate the big plays from them.
All right, Tony, appreciate you stopping by. Let's move over to Matt, who is with Norv Turner.
Thank you, Pam. Norv, anytime you play this Tampa Bay defense, they force you to do a couple of things, which is throw underneath and try to be really patient. It's one thing to be patient on the sidelines. How is the patience going to work for you?
Well, it's important for us to have patience in this game, but we also have to be ourselves. And one of the reasons we're in this game is we make big plays. So we have to have patience, but we have to give ourselves a chance to make big plays.
Just talking about big plays, you're on the road in a stadium, obviously, that's not yours. It's going to get nice and loud. How important, then, does the start of this game become?
It's critical. I thought last week the key to the game was we got off to a good start. We got a quick lead. We've got to play well early. We've got to keep the game close. A close game at halftime obviously plays into our hands.
Norv, wish you the absolute best. Have a great one. JB, back to you.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. And, Matt, by the way, Howie complimenting you on your anchor skills and your toss back here as well.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Howie, talking about Stephen Davis.
Never change.
Look at him. Stephen Davis. I mean, the team is not the same without Stephen Davis there. Yes, he is a little banged up. You know what it's like to play in the playoffs. Broken hand, you had it completely reconstructed, but gamers do play.
Well, gamers, a number of players in the NFL, when it's down to 8, you have to play. And Stephen Davis last week did what he had to do to play in the football game. The problem he has this week is not the ankle. The ankle is back to where it was prior to last week's game, but it's the knee. They want him to get 20 to 30 snaps at least, not 20 to 30 touches. Stephen Davis is the formula for beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why? He runs north and south. He's a big back with great vision. You want to run the ball to the left, cut the ball back to the right. The problem is, versus this Tampa Bay defense, if he gets tweaked, that takes them out of what they want to do. They want to force Lynch to come up. When you talk about in the pregame, Pam Oliver and Matt Millen talked about it. How do you beat this team? You force them out of what they like to do, and that's keep Lynch back in the 2 deep safety and take your shots over the top.
Yeah, you're a gamer. What was the score of that game when you played?
Pretty close to the Jacksonville score. Yeah.
52 to 3, I think. But you talked about that really is the key, because with Stephen Davis in the lineup, he just sucks those safeties right up into the running game. And Brad Johnson, believe it or not, has more long passes this season than any quarterback in the National Football League. And you talk to the Tampa Bay defenders in this one, it's not Stephen Davis, it's not the running game they're concerned about. They're concerned about the deep balls down the field, the big plays that Washington's been getting every single week.
I would have liked to have said more here, but I don't have time. But I especially going to keep my eye on young Shaun King. And having played in this offense that he's running right now, it's perfect for a young kid. Not a lot's going to be asked of him. Hand the ball off. He's very cool. He's very calm. My best friend's name is Jeff Quinn. His nickname is Smoothie. And this kid is smooth. But why? Nothing bothers him. If you knew Jeff, you'd understand that for different reasons, obviously.
He works with you.
Huh?
I think that was enough, don't you,
exactly.
JB?
I have rubbed off on him.
And
That's what
Scott
that means.
Ackerson, our producer, he wanted to have more time. I can't
hockey
believe
fight
that. All right,
breaking out
folks,
here today.
let's see what's happening on the coaches front in the National Football League.
What is that?
In New Orleans, the Saints are looking to hire Jacksonville defensive coordinator Dom Capers as head coach and ex-Steeler personnel director Tommy Donahoe as general manager. Meanwhile, in Green Bay, the Packers continue their wide-ranging search for their next head coach. And earlier today, the Packers interviewed Seattle offensive coordinator Mike Sherman. Yesterday, they interviewed Lions defensive coordinator Larry Peccatello. And they've also contacted the Rams about offensive coordinator Michael Martz. And finally, despite an MVP season, the Rams will not rework quarterback Kurt Warner's contract after the playoffs because they don't want to make the same mistake the Vikings did when they gave Randall Cunningham a $4 million a year contract to sit on the bench. All right, folks, as we head towards kickoff, here's what else is on tap for today's show.
Hey, I'm Dan Big Daddy Wilson of the Washington Redskins. Coming up on his one and only Fox NFL special.
Hey, Big Daddy. After a slow start, your Redskins defense is on the warpath. They've turned the Redskins, without the D, back into the Redskins. Howie Long raps with the most improved unit in the NFL. Then, when you talk D, you've got to talk the hard-hitting Bucs. However, on offense, Bucs ball is old school, as in keeping it on the ground. Pam Oliver talks it over with the Buccaneers, who are long on patience but short on flash. It's all coming up, coming at you on this one and only Fox NFL special.
There's always a combination of taking your knowledge and applying it. For example, I know who the shooter is. I know what he does, what he thinks, under stress, how he'll act, what's his favorite thing to do, what's his least favorite thing to do. And I got most of my rebounds before he took the shot.
Knowledge is the edge. At Invesco, it's the approach we use to make money for investors. You should know what Invesco knows.
In time, goes by so slowly. In time, can do.
Welcome to the Internet, home to millions of fascinating websites. And this one. It's your Internet. We just connect you to it. Earthlink and Sprint are Internet partners.
The new Sonata from Hyundai, with the freedom of America's best warranty.
I need my light.
What light?
The light I ordered on your website.
This isn't a website. This is the store site.
You mean I can't get my light?
Not at this site.
Same store, same lights.
Different system, different sites.
I came in here because I thought I might...
Find the same things that were on the website.
Doesn't that seem right?
Now, in hindsight, if the site was tied to the website, then it would be easy for us to give you your light. Excellent insight, Dwight.
Forget it.
One company, one place for information. Now there's an idea.
Good night.
The Invesco pregame show is brought to you by Invesco. You should know what Invesco knows. By Earthlink, it's your internet, we just connect you to it. By Hyundai, every Hyundai's backed by America's best warranty with 10 years powertrain coverage. And by Gateway, connect with us.
Indeed, it is ugly in Jacksonville where the Jaguars are leading in the fourth quarter 62-7. This will be, if it stays that way, the second worst playoff loss in NFL history and the worst in Miami history, that regular season or playoffs. And we know a number of you who are watching that game are now joining us, and we'd like to welcome you. Wow, Chicago beat Washington way back 73-0. This one, talk about putting a stamp on what could be Jimmy Johnson's last coaching job.
Well, you know what? If you look at that score, you might think that the players may have had a little hint that Jimmy wasn't coming back, and they just laid it on the ground. Or, Chris, they may have just said that trip from Seattle to Miami, a short week for us, too much. Or they may say Jacksonville had a week off, and they've got the fresh legs. The bottom line is this team was not ready to play football. This is the worst I have ever seen a Jimmy Johnson team. And if you just want to go back 4 years, if you look at Don Shula's last 4 years, he was 37-32 as a head coach. And he was 41-28, 41-28. Jimmy Johnson is 37-32. Definitely not an improvement as the head coach of the Dolphins. And if Jimmy Johnson goes out, he's not going to go out like he went out as a Cowboy having won Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the situation right now in Miami, I don't think there's any question that Jimmy Johnson is not going to be back. And then the next question becomes, do you really want to bring Dan Marino back as your quarterback with a new head coach? Or is it time to wipe the slate clean, start a new era with a new head coach in Miami? My belief is they're going to do the latter, that this is the end of an era right now with the Miami Dolphins.
Well, it's sad to say, but I don't think either Jimmy Johnson nor Dan Marino would like to go out like this. So it'd be interesting to see what happens down there, whether Jimmy decides, in fact, this is it for him. I don't know that it might not be it for Jimmy. I think Jimmy doesn't want to go out this way, and I know Dan wants to continue to play.
One-word answer. Do you think Jimmy would have the passion if he came back next year, though?
No. Marino, yes. Jimmy, no.
I don't think he had it this year, JB.
Yeah. Coming up, Buck ball and what it means. But next, they indeed were horrible, and now they're respectable. The question is, can the Redskins' defense sustain it throughout the playoffs?
You know, the guys were playing, I think they, about halfway through the season, they decided to buy into, Coach Nolan's theories and his schemes and things and, play their position and allowed us linebackers to be faster players because we were more confident what the guys were playing was going to do.
Big age disparity between Champ Bailey and Darrell Green. 21-year-old rookie Champ Bailey, 39-year-old vet Darrell Green. But guess what? They both combined for 8 picks this year. Back with more in a moment.
There's always a combination of taking a knowledge and applying it. For example, I know who the shooter is. I know what he does, what he thinks, under stress, how he'll act, what's his favorite thing to do, what's his least favorite thing to do. And I got most of my rebounds before he took the shot.
Knowledge is the edge. Take the Growth and Income Fund from Invesco. You should know what Invesco knows.
Stay on the line, take 6.
Please stay on the line.
Cut.
Please stay on the line.
Take 31.
Please stay on the line.
No. Could you add a smile to please?
A smile.
Yes, these people have been waiting a long time. Have a little sympathy.
Please stay on the line. You can improve customer service. We can show you how.
Well, it rained.
A state of emergency has washed away roads.
For 3 straight days it rained.
A series of storms coming.
Then the levee broke.
4-foot wave washed through town, tore everything up.
A whole lot of people lost everything.
Everything they had. Another problem was we had all this water.
But you couldn't drink a drop of it.
That's when the truck from Miller rolled up.
I see it and I'm thinking beer.
Beer?
Beer? But it was water.
They stopped bottling beer.
They stopped bottling beer and bottled water for us instead.
Miller, part of the Philip Morris family of companies, donated thousands of gallons of drinking water to disaster victims last year. For decades, Philip Morris has assisted communities in distress all around the world.
Actually, I could have used a beer right then. But that's another story.
Working to make a difference. The people of Philip Morris.
Yeah, through the top. The more money we come across, the more money we see. I'm coming over. They wait for me. Like the more money we come across, the more problems we see. Hey, yeah, through the top.
NFL Under the Helmet mixes music and football. Join hosts Ron Pitts and Jill Arrington Saturdays at noon Eastern on Fox. This is Fox Sports News Primetime.
We're back, and so is the Alice through the looking glass. Damn shame about that nasty French Revolution world of the International Olympic Committee. IOC godfather Juan Antonio Samaranch testified in front of a congressional inquiry today, and among other things, addressed the 12...
When the Redskins defense struggled over the past couple of years, many fingers were pointed directly at those two guys, tackles Dana Stubblefield and Dan Wilkinson. Both have indeed played better recently, but are not the dominating presence many think that they should be. That's what a lot of folks are saying as we welcome you back to the Invesco pregame show and this Fox NFL special. Well, make no mistake about it. In the middle of the season, the Washington Redskins defense was in disarray. In fact, defensive coordinator Mike Nolan, who was on the hot seat, suggested the team bring in defensive guru Bill Arnsparger to try and fix it. Well, it's taken some time, and guess what? The defense isn't bad, but I guess as I turn to Big Boy Howie, is it getting that much better?
It's gotten significantly better, JV. As a matter of fact, it's been a story of 2 seasons for the Washington Redskins defense. Fortunately, them rolling into the playoffs, it's been on an up note. I went up to Washington in my pickup truck. It was a long drive to find out why.
Oh, long drive.
Guys won't blitz when he was called up on the blitz. We won't play in the coverages we were asked to be played, and you just can't do that at this level.
How much of the criticism that's been levied towards the defense and you throughout the year is warranted?
You know, that's a tough one to answer for one single reason. When it all started, I wasn't going to point any fingers, and when it all ends, I'm not going to point any.
Bradshaw said I had to ask the question. So I did.
Drop him on that football field. You got next time you see him, just...
I was actually at Baton Rouge helping the president of the Alumni Association raise some money for a hotel.
I was searching for somebody to, I guess somebody who wanted to go through hell with me, I guess you could say.
How would you describe your position here?
Another set of eyes, really, watching practice, being in the meetings and listening and contributing when I can, and also on game day being in the box upstairs.
You know, at Bill's age, 72 when he came, 73 now,
years old. I was kind of surprised, but it was me that initiated it. And
at least you know he's not going to be running the street tonight.
No, he's not.
Bill's watching film.
Bill's watching film with me.
Hard to understand a willingness to grow.
Well, I think the Arizona game was a turning point, but because before that we were playing like maybe 2 quarters a game where we played great and 2 other quarters where we'd be, you know, mediocre or just suspect. But the Arizona game was a complete game for us.
Where would you put this defense now?
Well, I've heard it said you're only as good as your last game, and our last game was pretty good.
You probably would be best advised to bring your big boy pads. you know,
oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got to put I'm gonna definitely swell up.
We're going to bring our hard hats and our hard boots, and we'll be ready for that run. If we continue to control the line of scrimmage as a defensive line and get after the quarterback, well, we feel we have a chance to be in the Super Bowl.
Obviously, the turning point was it coincided with the arrival of Bill Arnsparger, and he's done a great job. Mike Nolan has done a great job in the second half of the year, but I think the big key, guys, is they're lining up in the right places, which allows the coaches to go with their full complement of defensive package. Mike Nolan is a first-class guy. That's what I get out of this interview.
But didn't you love watching Washington last week? To me, it was a totally new look for the Redskins defense. They were blitzing, they were attacking, they were relentless. But remember, that was against the Detroit Lions, a team that does not have a running game, doesn't have a receiving threat out of the backfield. Now they're going up against Tampa Bay. And if you blitz this bunch, Mike Alstott breaks through the line of scrimmage. There's nobody back there. You got Warwick Dunn on the outside, one-on-one, makes somebody miss 70 yards down the field. Don't think they can play the same way today.
There's a lot of really great guys in this league, Howie, and Mike's one of them. But the point is, these guys are not lining up right, and that's their problem. Who's responsible for that? Mike Nolan is. And this team didn't get good defensively until Arnsparger came on the scene. And they are playing well. They are playing excellent football right now, and it'll be a challenge today. My question today be, if they can't run it, I really don't think that they'll be able to throw. And this is a great, great offense. We've scored a lot of points.
Have you seen more aggressiveness as of late in the Redskins defense, Howie?
Yes, I have, and the reason why is because they're lining up in the right place. It allows the coach to blitz. They've been burnt in the past.
All right.
Yeah, that kills me. They lined up wrong.
In the wrong place. I hear you loud and clear.
Spent 6 days studying this stuff.
Coming up, the Buccaneers call it smash mouth, but others call it a little bit boring. Up next,
lined up right.
We'll check out Buc ball. And the question is, can conservative football win a championship?
That's what the playoff football is all about, running the ball and not making mistakes. And if our offense doesn't make any big mistakes and allow a team to score without us on the field, then we'll be fine.
In tennis, the advantage of the two-handed backhand is obviously power because you're using both hands. But it also is deceiving because in a split second, you can change the direction of the ball that you hit. Your opponent never knows if you're going to rifle it down the line or rip it cross court, and I like that.
Knowledge is the edge. At Invesco, it's the approach we use to make money for investors. You should know what Invesco knows.
Who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I linked up 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, and 7,000 troops. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
The Hurricane, Golden Globe Award nominee, Best Picture, Golden Globe Award nominee, Best Director, and Golden Globe Award nominee, Best Actor, Denzel Washington. The Hurricane, rated R, now playing.
A young woman murdered.
They didn't have to kill her, but they did.
You have the power to help solve the crime. America's Most Wanted, tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
These are your W-2s. This is your tax money. So how do you get from here to here in just 1 day? By going here. Get your money in just 1 day with Amscott's Sonic Refund. Nobody does it faster. 1-800-801-4444.
Thanks a lot, Amscott. At Busch Gardens?
Busch Gardens?
At Busch Gardens.
I journeyed to Nairobi,
the Congo,
to Egypt. I tangled with wild jungle beasts.
I got carried away.
I had all kinds of fun.
I had a blast. I explored the Serengeti.
Right up close.
As close as I am to you. I caught some great shows.
Thousands of adventures take place every day at the only place more wild animals and the wildest rides live together.
All at Busch Gardens. At Busch Gardens.
Meet Carlos Sandoval, veteran Navy SEAL, trained to go through anything, equipped to survive it. Introducing the Chevy S10 Survival Pack. CD, automatic, air, aluminum wheels. Over $1,300 in savings and $1,250 cash back. You might think that could weaken a Navy SEAL. Fat chance. The Chevy S10 Survival Pack. Like a rock.
Getting your tax money from the IRS can take months. Other tax services at least a week. But with Amscott Sonic Refund, you get your money
in just one day.
Amscott Sonic Refund. Nobody does it faster. 1-800-801-4444.
Thanks a lot, Amscott.
I'm Howard Shapiro, and you're watching Fox 13.
All right, folks, if you want to talk about pressure, how about being in Tampa Bay quarterback Shaun King's shoes? The local high school hero is trying to become the first rookie quarterback to lead his team to the Super Bowl. And so far, not a bad start. He is 4-1 as a starter as we welcome you back to Studio 2A and the Invesco pregame show. You know, now, no one reason why a rookie quarterback has ever led a team to the Super Bowl, Terry. You know why?
Why?
You know why? Because very few have ever had a real chance. But make no mistake about it, Shaun King and the Bucs have a very legitimate shot. That's because Tampa Bay doesn't ask their quarterback to win the game, just don't lose it. It's called Buck Ball. And Pam Oliver joins us now from Tampa. And hello, Pam.
Hello, JB. And you know, Tampa's formula for success is very simple, and it never changes. They like to field a strong, dominant defense that will maul you and a grinded-out kind of offense that can bore you to death. Their style very atypical of what we're seeing in today's NFL, and that suits their head coach just fine.
What we're going to do right here is go back, way back into time.
So I'm a firm believer in defense wins championships.
Obviously, defense wins championships.
Back in the day, they didn't have those aerial attacks and all of that, you know. They was running power and counter OT and all that good stuff. And that's pretty much what we are, because that's where our coach is from.
We're going to kind of go old school today.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm old school.
Old school. Because you're one of those people who still have that mindset, right, that defense wins championships.
I do. I believe that.
Do you feel like a fossil sometimes with that?
Well, I do around town sometimes, and it is a different game now. It's clearly different than it was in the 70s and 80s, but I think you can still win, and I think most very, very good teams have been defense-oriented.
For a young guy, Tony Dungy thinks old. His formula for success is reminiscent of the days the phrase good old-fashioned football is often used to describe. Other teams may have more firepower, but the Bucs power their success in a way that can put the MTV generation to sleep.
Working for Coach Noll for so many years, and he was a guy that was very true to his beliefs. Denny Green worked for Marty Schottenheimer 3 years. So when you're around good people that aren't afraid to buck the trends, they aren't afraid to stand alone, I think it's good training. He believes in a running game, controlling the clock with aggressive defense, creating turnovers. I really think this team fits his personality, and it's no secret that we're the strength of this team.
And it shows. While Tampa's rock-solid defense has excelled under Dungy, the offense has consistently finished in the league's bottom tier. This year was no exception, but the unit gained confidence with its improved play late in the season and knows progress in the playoffs demands they carry their own weight.
Do you guys get tired of being considered the weak link?
Yeah, because with all the weapons we have on the offensive side, we should be throwing up 28, 35 points a game.
We have to score points. We can't put it all on our defense. We can't let those guys just win all the games. We have to go out and play well.
And not turn the ball over.
Come on, O. Execute, O.
That's the only thing we ask. Don't put us in a tough situation with the short field, because most teams are good enough to get 11, 10 yards and kick a field goal. And then now we're playing from behind. And we're not a come from behind, fight, throw the ball 60 times type of team.
No, Tampa's the type of team that sticks to the plan with the tried and true approach of bludgeoning the opponent into submission.
You don't have to throw 50 times a game to go to the Super Bowl.
What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to watch?
I think you can appreciate the running game, appreciate efficient passing, and appreciate good defense.
And you don't care. You have no shame.
I have no shame. Hopefully we can do that 3 more times.
And we posed this hypothetical to Tony yesterday. We said, what if you had a quarterback like Brett Favre? Would you still run the same style of offense? He said, well, we will always run the ball, but if we had someone like Brett, maybe we'd open it up a little bit. What's interesting is he thinks eventually, under Shaun King, as he develops, that they will be able to open things up just a little bit. But for now, JB, they plan to stick with what got them here, what helped them win 11 games and set a franchise record. Back to you.
Hey, Pam, I got to be honest. I love that gleam in your eye, and I know, in fact, it's because there are many ex-stars in the stadium today, huh? I still love you, Pam. I love you, Pam. Boy, look, if looks could kill anyway, let me turn to Chris and ask you.
Don't turn to me now.
Hey, Chris, could you play in that Buccaneers offense?
Oh, wow. You're bailing right over to me now, aren't you? Yeah, JB, I could, because just like on this show, I'm just a team guy, and I like to do what's best for everybody. That's the way I believe in doing things. I had a chance to talk to John Lynch this week, the outstanding strong safety of the Buccaneers, and ask him about this Washington offense. I did. We had a nice conversation. No, we had a nice conversation.
Let him finish. He gets flustered.
And Washington does not side adjust from the outside. So what Tampa Bay is going to do today is they are going to fake blitzes. They're going to try and get Brad Johnson to get up and audible at the line of scrimmage, thinking a blitz is coming, and then they're going to say, check 2, check, and then drop back into some soft zones. They think they can come up with some interceptions underneath, playing mind games with Brad Johnson.
The thing that stands out about this Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense, the people that play them, in particular people that play them twice a year, is you have to readjust to the speed of their defense, the fastest defense in the league. And it's not only the first time, it's the second time. It catches you totally by surprise. The way to combat it, as we mentioned earlier, Stephen Davis running the ball downhill will take John Lynch hopefully out of that too deep zone, which will open things up down the field and put their corners on an island. Hicks is not a back that does that. Stephen Davis goes down, and Hicks has to run outside. That plays right into Tampa Bay's hands.
If Washington runs, they have to bring their safeties up, and that's Lynch. And that's why the play action works. And that's why last week, second half of that Detroit game, they couldn't run, they couldn't throw. And the same thing will happen today. Cover 2 is the quarterback. Safeties rolling bad jams by the corners. You saw it last week. And when the Vikings hosted the Cowboys, man, that is easy pickings. They have got to be able to run the football. I'm talking about Washington.
Are you sticking with your New Year's resolution not to mention Jimmy Kimmel's name?
Oh, please.
Is that
please.
right?
I thought he got fired.
Is that
He's
so?
still with us?
So you could care
He's in
less
Tampa Bay.
about
That's what JB was
who
talking
he
about.
likes today. Is that
I
right?
could care
He's
less.
down
He
in
could care
Tampa
less.
Bay.
Well, you know what? I know he could care less, but we are obligated to. So, Jimmy, take it away.
Thanks, Dad. I don't have a lot of time today, so I just want to tell you I like Tampa Bay later, and I have a real good feeling about Jacksonville. I'll be back with a lot more nonsense tomorrow. Back to you, Pop.
All right, folks, it is a final. Jacksonville spanks the Dolphins 62-7. Second worst playoff loss in history. That, of course, Washington losing 7-3-0 to Chicago 60 years ago. All right, folks, Washington's offense being introduced in Tampa for the big game coming up. We will get you out there after our final thoughts when we come back after this.
In tennis, the advantage of the two-handed backhand is obviously power because you're using both hands. But it also is deceiving because in a split second you can change the direction of the ball that you hit. Your opponent never knows if you're going to rifle it down the line or rip it cross court, and I like that.
Knowledge is the edge. Take the Invesco Endeavor Fund. You should know what Invesco knows.
Get ready for the shave of your life. Mach 3 from Gillette. It's so fast, so effortless. 3 blades shave progressively closer. You take 1 stroke, it takes 3. So you don't shave over and over. The result? Far less irritation. 3 blades, fewer strokes, less irritation. Once you go to Mach 3, you'll never go back. Mach 3 from Gillette.
Introducing the all-new Hyundai Accent. It gives you a serious array of responsible features without losing its wild side. The 2000 Accent from Hyundai with the freedom of America's best warranty.
The new Gateway Profile 2 PC with a 20-gig drive, DVD, and flat screen. It's a computer and monitor in one that fits neatly on your desk. Which leaves plenty of room underneath it. Featuring the Intel Celeron processor. Call 1-800-GATEWAY.
Last Sunday, over 31 million viewers turned Malcolm in the Middle into television's newest hit.
Don't you dare.
Dad, do something.
What do you think you're doing?
Being cute and spontaneous? The LA Times says, get ready to howl. And Time Magazine says it's full of belly laughs.
Cousin Nancy doesn't have a mother.
She has two daddies.
Two guys as your parents? That house has got to be a dude's paradise.
An all-new Malcolm in the Middle, tomorrow at 8:30, 7:30 Central on Fox.
The NFC's top-rated defense being introduced for the game against Washington. Final thoughts start with Chris.
A lot of offensive linemen hurt in this ball game, JB. Andy Hack and Corey Raymer for the Washington Redskins. I don't think Raymer's going to make it through this game with that rib injury. And Paul Gruber, of course, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Which offensive line gets settled earliest in the game probably makes a difference here.
And talking about offensive lines getting settled, the Washington Redskins feel the key to the game, especially early on, is controlling Warren Sapp. They feel he is the heartbeat of that football team. When he makes a big play early, the stadium goes crazy, the defense goes crazy, the offense responds. Make no mistake about it, the wholeness is on. Warren Sapp and Wilkerson and Stubblefield. So defensive tackles, in my mind, control the game today.
And naturally, as they should. And as a quarterback, I would worry about tackles. But emotion, and enthusiasm, all these things play a huge role in winning at home. And Mike Shuley, if you're listening to me right now, they think you're going to run. Come out early, right off the bat, play action, and take it down the field. This young Shaun King can get it done.
With the 60 seconds before the start, you think Mike Shula is really listening to you right now?
No, but it was
hanging on every word.
It was my way of trying to
You like Tampa Bay, is that right? You like Tampa Bay. Who do you like?
Bay.
All right. Folks, we'll find out. We will join you at the half. We're leaving Big Boy alone because we know we'll see you at the half. Don't leave him.
You're watching the NFC Divisional Playoff on Fox. Dodge Dakota is ranked best compact pickup in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates. Add all these great features, and you can see why the New South thinks so highly of Dakota. Yet this Dakota Club Cab is easily within your reach, especially when you can lease one for just $209 a month. Get a truck with very lofty credentials with a very down-to-earth price. Dodge Dakota. Different.
They both share a smooth multi-valve V6, plenty of room, and exceptional styling.
After you.
No, after you.
No. Mine says.
Please.
Sebring Coupe, Sebring Convertible. Either one is a very nice alternative to the other.
I run a rental car company, and we are porting Hyundai Accent. Customers are always telling me how much they love the Accent. I test drove one and I bought it. Their 10-year and 5-year warranty definitely shows you what kind of confidence Hyundai has in their vehicle. So I went into the dealership, treated me right, gave me a great deal, walked out of there a happy man. Freedom to me means to be able to go wherever you want without any problems.
The Hyundai Accent comes with the freedom of America's best warranty for only $8,934.
Off the field, he buys shoes for underprivileged kids. On the field, he likes to knock the socks off NFL quarterbacks.
And the fans are caught up in playoff atmosphere. There's a big party going on here in Tampa. And how do you like your lobster? the NFC Divisional Playoff getting set to get underway as the Washington Redskins take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And what a scene indeed, everyone. Welcome to Tampa. Dick Stockton with Matt Millen and Pam Oliver. And the Buccaneers, who got a bye this week, finished the regular season in a blaze of glory, winning 8 of their last 9, including 7 straight here. They have an incredibly potent defense, a rookie in Shaun King at quarterback, but there's no mystery to how this team goes about their business.
Yeah, there's no question. And anybody who's been a Bucs fan, or actually who's been an opponent of the Bucs, knows the recipe never changes for them. So what they're going to do today, no surprise, they're going to run the football. They're going to play solid defense. They're going to try to shorten the game and try to keep the ball away from that Washington offense. And then the biggest key in my mind is how the rookie, you mentioned Shaun King, how he's going to handle this game. If that Buc offense can get to 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable for King, they'll be in good shape.
Now the Washington Redskins coming off an easy win over the Detroit Lions with their high-octane offense. And Norv Turner extremely confident coming in this game, despite the doubts that Stephen Davis, the running back, is going to start and could play the entire game. This team could put a lot of points, but I'll tell you, Norv Turner relaxed as you could want yesterday.
Very relaxed, and to a man, I believe, respectfully confident. They go into this game knowing that they're capable, knowing that they've played well down the stretch. And what they'll do again all comes down to Stephen Davis in that running game. Pounding inside, getting themselves some good play-action pass, and then throwing for big plays down the field. But the game within the game today that I'm really looking forward to is Norv Turner, arguably one of the best play callers in the National Football League, and Monty Kiffin, the mad professor I like to call him, because you never know what he's going to do. It may look like one thing, and you heard Chris Collinsworth talk about it on the pregame show. They'll show you something, but they'll give you something else. I'm really looking forward to it.
Should be a great one and a true contrast in styles. The explosive offense of the Redskins and the tremendous ferocious defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the winner here will move to the NFC Championship game next Sunday.
You're watching the NFC Divisional Playoff on Fox.
Oh, baby.
Hey, Mr. Dinky's busy. Hey, Dinky, I quit.
Oh, no. Oh. Mr. Dinky, I'm not quitting. That was a joke, sir.
Stop. You're chewing the wrong gum. Chew the right gum. Delicious Arm & Hammer gum cleans and reduces dirty plaque up to 25%. Helps reach places kids brushing can miss. Start chewing the gum with a purpose. Arm & Hammer gum in the toothpaste aisle.
The RCA experts have been out looking for ways to improve how you watch TV.
Friend of mine is having a rough time. Jimmy, I'm scoring 2 touchdowns for you today, buddy. So make that 3. Well, the best of luck to both of you. And now to the kickoff.
This game will not be broadcast in your area. More football later.
Their latest idea? The RCA Direct TV system, which gives you 200 channels with digital quality picture. So if it's on, chances are it'll be on your TV.
Why is it that no matter where you are in the world, there is always a place for people to come together? When you think about it, it's simple. Humans are a social bunch. We need each other. That's why we fly more places than anyone else, because it's important for people to stay united.
What color are your teeth? Arm & Hammer Advanced White Toothpaste whitens your teeth with just 1 tube. Our whitening guide proves you can go from here to here. Arm & Hammer, whiter teeth, 1 tube, guaranteed.
For the Buccaneers, home, and the first time they have hosted a playoff game, and Shaun King from St. Petersburg, about 10 miles west of here, and a big advantage for the Buccaneers. Teams with a bye week have a 17-1 record in the NFC and divisional game. The Bucs will get the ball first. Brett Connolly kicking off, and Warwick Dunn, who was installed as a kick returner the last 2 games of the regular season, fields this and mucks it on the 12-yard line. And Dunn will bring it out just shy of the 25. So let's set the offense for Tampa Bay. Shaun King, 4-1 as a starter and mopped up in the victory over Seattle when Trent Dilfer got hurt the week before. Pete Pearson, who hasn't started in 3 years, is at left tackle for Paul Gruber. Diaz, Mayberry up front, along with Middleton and Wunsch. Dunn and Alstott, contrast in styles for the running backs. Jacquez Green and Bert Emanuel are the receivers, and underrated Dave Moore, the tight end. Tampa Bay starting from the 24-yard line, and a play-action pass on first down, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Green. Defensively for the Redskins, and they have stepped it up lately. Up front, it's Marco Colvin, Dana Stubblefield, Dan Wilkinson, and Anthony Cook. Stubblefield and Wilkinson keys today. The linebackers are Sean Barber, Derek Smith, and Greg Jones. Champ Bailey, the rookie, with a big year. At one corner, 17-year veteran Darrell Green, the other cornerback, with Sam Shade and Leamon Evans, the safety. Dunn getting his first carry of the game for no gain.
And Dick, and this sets up on the very first series what they don't want to do all game long, and that is get into 3rd and long. They want to get into 3rd and manageable. The one thing about Shaun King, and everybody talks about, is his poise and how unflappable he is. To me, he's an extension of his head coach. He's exactly like Tony Dungy. He's what Dungy likes. The interesting thing to me is something Dungy told us last night. He said, if we go into this 4th quarter down by 3, 10-7, we feel like we're winning.
Rarely hear that from a coach. Out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 10. And rookie Darnell McDonald in the game at wide receiver and nearly picked off. Warwick Dunn was the intended receiver, and way off the mark with that pass.
Well, first of all, I believe Mike Shula listened to Terry Bradshaw in the pregame. They were talking about, they came out and they did play action early. That ball looked like it got a little bit of a tip at the line of scrimmage, and Sean Barber almost had himself a shot at an interception. But again, it was the 3rd and long that they want to stay out of.
3 and out for the Bucs, and Mark Royals having a big year as the Bucs punter, and a fine kick. Brian Mitchell at the 29 returning for the Redskins, and he is dropped before he could get underway at the 35-yard line. 48-yard kick for Mark Royals. So the Redskins with their offensive play, Brad Johnson, 3-1 as a starter against Tampa Bay. That is a member of the Minnesota Vikings. Skip Vickers is up front at left tackle, replacing Andy Heck. Sims Raymer also up front with Trey Johnson and John Jansen. Davidson centers the running backs. Westbrook and Connell the receivers. And outside, Stephen Alexander. Starting from the 35, and the handoff to Stephen Davis. Didn't look very good early in the week as to whether he would play at all, and he gets about a yard. Defensively, up front, Steve White, Warren Sapp, the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Brad Culpepper, and Chidi Ahanatu. 2 Pro Bowlers at linebacker, Derrick Brooks and Hardy Nickerson. Shelton Quarles with them. Rondy Barber and Donnie Abraham, the corners. John Lynch, he too going to the Pro Bowl, with Damian Robinson, the free safety. Larry centers in motion to the left, and Brad Johnson's first pass, and that one is incomplete. Hardy Nickerson defending on the play. Alexander, the intended receiver.
Dick, whenever you play this Tampa Bay defense, they do cause you some problems, but they're very, very basic. What they force you to do is be patient. Just speaking to Brad Johnson, he said, I know on the field that I'm going to be patient. This one's on Norv on the sideline. He's got to be patient over there. And just talking to Norv in the pregame, remember he said, we're still going to take our shot.
Irving Fryer has come in and wide receiver. Brian Mitchell also in on passing down. 3rd down and 8 for Brad Johnson, and his pass up the middle is caught by Connell, and he is stopped about 3 yards shy of the first down. And the Redskins may have to kick.
Dick, you know, this is a carbon copy first series for both teams. From the defensive side, they got him into 3rd and long, and then they play good, disciplined defense, force you to throw underneath. And unlike today's earlier game in that Miami debacle, today what you'll see is good tackling. That was the most pathetic tackling I've ever seen.
And an incredible runaway 62-7 Jacksonville victory. So 4th down, and Matt Turk will punt, and Carl Williams back deep for Tampa Bay. End over end punt is fielded by Williams, and he gets tripped up and dives forward to the 27-yard line. Dan Turk made the defensive play. Each team has had the ball once. They've been 3 and out, and we'll be right back.
Eyes of a puppy dog, misplayed for sin. You're not dreaming. I'm for real. We got a call.
Hello.
Louis?
Yeah?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines coast to coast for $99 or less when you purchase tickets by February 2nd and travel Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
You are now free to move about the country.
Whoa.
Oh, you want to race?
Times a day, 685 times an hour. Once every 6 seconds, a GM owner puts their stamp of approval on the quality of our cars and trucks by coming back to buy another GM. It's the ultimate expression of loyalty. And to us, the ultimate compliment.
This Fox NFC Divisional Playoff game is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
This is the only game this weekend featuring a matchup of 2 division champions, the Buccaneers capturing the NFC Central for the first time in 18 years.
That's Trey Johnson over there on the sideline. He may have gotten whacked in the eye. Got a little bit of ice in the towel there.
Buccaneers starting from their 27th. And Warren Dunn, maybe a yard, that's all.
This is Warren Sapp on the previous play on that 3rd down. And what he's going to be doing, first of all, you can notice that he's drawing a crowd. Second thing, you saw John Jansen get his left hand on him. And now this is for later on in the game. Warren Sapp is going to go over to the official, Dick Hantak, and tell him, just remind him that they're holding him. Didn't you see that hold? But you see the smile on his face? The respect? You know what that is? That's setting it up for later. Just to call it to attention because we're all human.
Smart gamesmanship on the part of Warren Sapp. 2nd down and 10. And they hand off to Warren Dunn. And Warren Dunn gets close to the 1st down. And Leamon Evans, the free safety, rode the back of Dunn. And a gain of 9 yards.
Sometimes you're blocked. And sometimes you block yourself. And I want you to watch right here, Dan Wilkinson. What he's going to do, he's going to take that quick move, and all he did was created that void. And once that void is there, you better believe that Warwick Dunn's vision is going to get him to the hole. He's a scary guy, and the only really legitimate big play guy in this offense right now.
3rd down and 1. Dunn is on the sideline, and Mike Alstott has Kevin McLeod up front blocking for him, and they give it to Alstott. And Alstott may not have made it. He did not, apparently. And the Redskins defense playing a lot better lately than they did earlier in the season. Right there. And Dunn is on the bench right now, shaken up. And he was healthier toward the end of the year, but might have gotten hit.
The one thing about Warwick Dunn, he may be small in stature, but he's got a heart the size of King Kong. That's the first thing. The second thing is, for me, he's a warrior. And he wants to play. And the one thing that bothered him, just in speaking to him this week, I want the ball. I'm a running back. I don't like to watch. I like to play.
He was their leading receiver this year and
short ski.
And had his 2nd most productive game as a runner in the season finale at Chicago. So the Redskin defense stiffens. And for the 2nd time, the Bucs will have to kick.
Here's Warwick Dunn right at the end of that run that he had for about 8 yards. You can see there was a little bit of a face mask there by Leomon Evans, but he also got driven to the ground. He'll be back, no problem. I didn't feel a thing from up here.
No, Mark Royals kicking for the second time, and it looked, Matt, as if Dunn is all right. Brian Mitchell goes back for the Redskins, and a booming kick, and a fair catch called by Mitchell back at around the 10-yard line, and this is the field position game when you have good kicking that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers thrive on. That was a 53-yard punt.
So in conclusion, I'd like to thank you, shareholders, for taking the time to attend.
Excuse me.
Yes, this is Mr.
Matambo. Looking at your annual report, page 16, can you explain the implications of floating your long-term debt in a potentially inflationary economy?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm,
Do you know anything about inventory valuation?
we created a smarter kind of investor.
In 1939, RCA introduced television to the public at the World's Fair. Color came to television in 1954 with RCA's model. Digital satellite TV became a thing. The future of television is high definition, 6 times sharper.
The people who brought you to television now bring you the next generation, making television as exciting as it was the very first time. RCA, changing entertainment again.
We're at the crossroads. We know how hard it was to get here. There is no reason to stop. The countdown begins. It's our time. Let's go. Get this party started.
The countdown begins. The NFL playoffs. One Puerto The NFL playoffs. One Puerto The NFL playoffs.
Tomorrow, your prayers are answered when Bart Simpson becomes a faith healer.
Satan, eat my shorts!
I see the light. It burns.
Hallelujah!
But can he give Homer the gift of sight?
Do I hold? Coming up.
Easy. Too far.
An all-new Simpsons, followed by an all-new Malcolm in the Middle tomorrow on Fox.
Pam Oliver reports that Warwick Dunn suffered a jammed neck, the back of his neck, and he will return to the game. Meanwhile, Tony Dungy has to like this field position. Redskins starting from the 11-yard line. Stephen Davis gets through one-arm tackle and picks up 1 yard on the play with Nickerson and Lynch in there.
What makes Stephen Davis special? Well, you hear the term all the time, downhill running. And that's what he does extremely well. And what downhill running is basically is just straight ahead, and he's powerful. Sometimes with a guy like this, you don't need a big hole. All you need is a body on a body, and he will push the crease. He does it extremely well.
Playing with ankle and knee injury. And this crowd picks up when the Redskins have the ball. It's 2nd and 8. And again, they hand off to Davis, and Tampa Bay right there. They're not letting Stephen Davis get a chance to break one. That was a gain that time of 1 yard. Steve White in on the play. 3rd down.
But this is where the patience come into play. What exactly does patience mean in a game like this? In a game like this, patience means stick with the game plan. Stay with what the heck you came with. You know, you studied them all week long. You know their personnel. You know your personnel. You know where your matchups are. Patience then becomes execution.
Redskins 50% on 3rd downs last week. See what they do here, and here's Thrash on the end around, and the Tampa Bay Bucs snuffed it out. Brian Kelly, who just came into the game as a nickel back, makes the play on Thrash, forcing the Redskins to punt from near the goal line.
This is one of those things, and Brian Kelly does the classic job of staying at home. But this out of Norv Turner, as you're going to see, they're coming back on the reverse. Kelly does a phenomenal job of staying there, forcing everything back in. On Norv Turner's side of the ball, it was patience. He's going to stay with what he came with, and that is to give him a different look early.
And a fine punt by Matt Turk that goes out of bounds inside the Bucs' 40-yard line. You want to talk about getting out of big trouble, Matt Turk just did that for the Redskins.
Let's move on. Do your business.
Your business is important to us.
It doesn't sound sincere.
Your business is important to us.
Take 55.
Your business is important to us.
What a beat in between business and is.
Your business is important to us. You can improve customer service. We can show you how.
Your car's been in an accident, and the repairs are taking too long. The problem's not your body shop. It's your insurance company. I can't fix cars, but I can cut the red tape, so my customers get their cars back faster. You're in good hands with Allstate. Mine.
You run a business. You are your own boss. Do you really have time to shred those important documents one by one? No. That's right. Kill two birds with one stone. Good work. You've executed 2 tasks in half the time. Here's another time-saving tip. Get E-Stamp Internet postage and buy and print postage whenever you want. That's E-Stamp-tastic.
Bobby joins the rodeo and shows a side you've never seen before.
Oh, hello there.
An all-new King of the Hill, part of a special hour at 7/6 Central tomorrow on Fox.
You know, on every play, and particularly early in the National Football League, but especially in the playoffs, all the rules are set early. And what the rules say is this the way it's going to be all game long. See Floyd Young, Shevin Smith right there along Curtis Buckley. Young comes in at the end just to say, hey, we're going to be here all game long. Curtis Buckley, 26, you better be ready.
Buccaneers starting from the 40-yard line. Their best starting field position of the game. And Mike Alstott, with a lot of power, having his best year as a rusher, over 900 yards, gets 2 on the play.
You know, when you look at this Tampa Bay offense, to me, when I break them down, the inside 3 are the guys who have to play with well. Conversely, Stubblefield and Wilkinson have got to be able to control those inside 3. Howie Long was talking about it on the pregame show, about controlling defensive tackles of both sides. These 2 guys right here have played well as of late, but they've got to step their game up today if they're going to control the inside running of Tampa.
And Warwick Dunn, who jammed his neck, is back in the lineup for the Buccaneers on 2nd down and 8 from the 42. And the King to Moore, the tight end, wide open. And a first down into Redskin territory. Evans made the tackle, but he is kind of a secret weapon for Tampa Bay in a gain of 15.
Well, what the secret weapon was the eyes of Shaun King, Dick, because they came with a blitz right into his face, and the rule is if they're coming there, somebody's got to be open. You're going to watch Sam Shade right here. Shade comes clean, and King sees it perfectly. Remember, he's a little vertically challenged, I might add. Not a real tall guy, but tall enough to see Dave Moore on the out bing. First down.
And the Buccaneers on the Redskins 43-yard line. No score. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Shaun King is going to take off, and Barber is going to bring him down after a minimal gain.
Well, I think there's a valuable lesson for Shaun King. Next time I'll slide. Don't take him on with your head.
That's the first rule.
Charlie Batch up in Detroit. Yeah, he knows it too. He said, man, I got my bell rung on that one. I guarantee the next time he will go feet first. You watch him, he's kind of right in between, and you're going to lose that. And that's Shaun Barber, the linebacker, and he head-to-head contact, you're going down.
Hey, it's Shaun King with tremendous poise. He asked him how old he is. He's 22. He acts like he's 32 and has been in the league for double-digit years. 2nd down and 8. Being in the pocket, and the ball is dropped. Warwick Dunn.
Ooh, that was really close. That was very well set up. And Frank Middleton had gotten his block on Shaun Barber. And they had a lot of green out there. And with Dunn in the open field, that's scary. And again, now you get into this 3rd and long, which they didn't want to get into. 3rd and manageable is what you want to try to accomplish if the offense, which is 3rd and 5 or shorter. And in there, you have a lot more option with the kind of routes you run. And it also, you can get rid of the ball a lot quicker.
3rd down and 8 at the 41-yard line. King out of the shotgun. And Carl Williams going in motion. King with pressure, and the pass thrown deep, and Jacquez Green covered by, guess who? Darrell Green in his 17th year, and up for the challenge.
Well, you're not going to be able to make that throw down the field, first of all, if you don't get protection up front. And I want you to watch Warwick Dunn. Does a nice job on Sam Shea, jams neck and all. He's able just to take him out, and that allows this throw deep down the field. A ball in which Green had himself about a half a step, but Darrell Green was right on top of him.
And a pooch kick by Mark Royals, and an effective one, and they'll get it inside the 10. So once again, Mark Royals does the job from his punting position, and he pins the Redskins inside their 10. We'll be right back.
It really has changed over the past few years. The car business, I mean. I'd like to think Saturn's had a lot to do with changing it, helping you feel better about buying a car. But these days, people are so strapped for time, they've done their homework long before they ever step foot in the showroom. People like Paul Daigle. When Paul was shopping mid-sized cars, he started with the usual suspects, Camry, Accord. Then he heard about our larger Saturn, the L Series, and got in touch with me to see how it stacked up. I was happy to pass along more details, but the problem is, you can't drive them. And a big part of appreciating this car is just driving it. Feeling the ride and handling, the tighter suspension, the interior refinements. I believe we've redefined what mid-size means. Of course, I suspected Paul would assume I was biased. That's why I brought an Accord and Camry along, just in case he had any doubts. Well, like I said, we're really changing this business.
Just past the rectory and up some cold gray stairs is the best place on earth to buy electronics, videos, books, even your favorite country music. It's Sister Maria's room. Because Sister Maria has two very important things. Access to Amazon.com, the best site for finding whatever you have a passion for, and Visa, the online currency. A great way to buy Hank Williams' 40 greatest hits, and of course, something to play it on. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
This Fox NFC Divisional Playoff game is brought to you by the new larger Saturn L Series, the next big thing from Saturn. By Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Ameritrade, believe in yourself. And by IBM, are you ready for e-business?
Our aerial views courtesy of the Goodyear blimp, the granddaddy of all the Goodyear blimp shots above this beautiful stadium. The Redskins' last possession started from the 11. They begin now from the 8-yard line. And Stephen Davis on the carry. Davis brings it out to about the 11 or 12-yard line. Brad Culpepper brings him down. Tomorrow, the pregame show begins at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. Set your alarm clocks. It's an early game as the Minnesota Vikings tangle with the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, and what you're going to get, some great quarterback play tomorrow. Jeff George is playing very well and taking that offense along. Kurt Warner, what more can you say? 4,000 yards, 41 passes. The MVP, they're having a phenomenal year.
Stephen Davis again, and it is apparent that Norv Turner looking to get the running game going before he unleashes Brad Johnson in a big way. That was a gain of 2 yards, and will bring up 3rd down.
You know, there's some nice matchups going on up front. And one of the best is Trey Johnson inside against Warren Sapp and Brad Culpepper. And those guys, that's a downhill man, 77, against the defensive tackle group that likes to move around a lot.
3rd down and 4, and here is Johnson, and he completes the pass to Albert Connell, and a 1st down. So a bullet thrown by Brad Johnson as Brian Kelly and Damian Robinson make the tackle and a pickup of 11.
Boy, Bullet was right. Bullet was right, and again, they came with a little bit of stunt up front. You can see the tackles and ends kind of trying to cross inside, but there was time. And because of that time, watch this, zipped right in between the safety Lynch and Kelly outside. 1st down.
Remember, last week, they didn't need a lot of the weapons because it was Stephen Davis and Larry Centers in an easy win. On 1st down, play action, and this pass to a wide-open Irving Fryer, and the 36-year-old veteran makes a 16-yard grab and a 1st down at the 42-yard line.
Dick, this goes back to it. Norv Turner told us in the pregame show when I was talking to him on the sideline. He said, yes, we have to be patient, but we can't not run our offense. We like to take shots down the field, and they're going to push the ball. It's not going to be all little short things underneath, 15, 18, 20 yards.
Two tight ends in the game. First down from the 42. Another play-action pass, and a lot of time for Brad Johnson. And this pass may be intercepted. It is ruled incomplete as Irving Fryer defended downfield by John Lynch. Dick ball hung.
Actually, let's twist that one around. Actually, Irving Fryer ended up defending John Lynch because Lynch did an excellent job of not taking this play fake bite. He kept his depth. You can see him right up here, and he's starting to get his depth. Now, they try to put the safety there in the position to make a decision. Either jump on the underneath or stay deep. He played it perfectly. And right at the end, watch this by Fryer. Become the defender. Excellent transition game.
Second down and 10. They're going to go to play action again. And the screen pass is set up to Stephen Davis. And Davis gets hit, but not before he gets the first down into Tampa Bay territory. And it's Chidi Ahanatu who gave him a shot and a gain of 15.
And Ahanatu had to make that play down the field because it was a nice block by the big Trey Johnson, the Pro Bowl guard. And remember I talked about him being a downhill guy. Well, what he also does is he does a pretty good job right here. Does a pretty good job of being in space. And yes, he lost his feet, but he got his man. And just that little nit allowed him to get the first.
Redskins in Bucs territory for the first time. Davis with a good hole up the middle, and Stephen Davis picking up about 5 or 6 before undercut by Derrick Brooks. And remember, Norv Turner said that if Davis does not aggravate his knee or ankle injury, and the ankle injury more severe at this point, he would play the entire game. Those are his numbers thus far.
Now, he talked about at the start of the game the chess match between Norv Turner and Monty Kiffin. Right now, Norv Turner is winning it because he has this Tampa Bay defense off balance.
8th play of the drive. From the 38 of Tampa Bay, Davis diving forward short of the first down by a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd and short with 1:50 remaining in a scoreless first quarter.
What impresses me most about this Tampa Bay defense and Monty Kiffin is their patience. Because it's one thing to have to be patient, force a team, we're going to do the same thing. Everybody knows what you're going to do, basically. But every now and then, they'll roll the bones a little bit, and then here will come a safety, and they'll show you a blitz and pull it back. Monty Kiffin does a phenomenal job of coaching his players on the weaknesses of his defense, and they cover it well.
Third down and 2. And Brad Johnson goes down. He couldn't find a receiver, and Warren Sapp on the big sack knocks the Redskins out of field goal range.
He should turn around and kiss John Lynch, because that is a John Lynch sack. Excellent job by John Lynch of jumping the coverage. He's going to try to hit Sellers right away in the flat, but he couldn't get there because Lynch right here will jump this. Look, they tried to pick him, but he's right on top of it. Nowhere to go with the ball. You have to have a bite out of it, and then Sapp bites him.
12.5 sacks in the regular season, less than a sack away from Leroy Selman's all-time club leadership. And Matt Turk trying to keep it in play and does so effectively. We have a pair of outstanding punters here today, and they're going to mark that at the 7 when we come back.
I need to run. I need to be strong. I need to be fast. I need to keep going. I need to remember not to set my Budweiser on the back of some truck. I need a doctor. I need to run.
Chuck, it's Rennie. I'm stuck. Call me back.
Rennie, we're doing shadow puppets. Call me.
Chuck.
Rennie.
Call me back.
You
just left me a message. I'm not going to touch my phone. Call me.
Tired of phone tag? Nextel's the only national wireless carrier with Direct Connect, a digital two-way radio feature. So, instead of reaching Chuck's voicemail, you can actually reach Chuck. Nextel, how business gets done.
When was the last time a television series took you to a place you've never been, showed you a world you've never seen, told you a story you'd never forget? The X-Files.
Federal agent, I'm on. Hold up!
There's only one place to find all new episodes of the most fascinating story on television.
Oh, my God.
The X-Files. Tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Scoreless game, 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Think you have what it takes to be an NFL coach? Then log on to foxsports.com or NFL.com and play Predict the Play, where you will earn points for correctly predicting the next play and compete against others in real time during today's game. That's only at foxsports.com. Boy, football has become fun, hasn't it, for the armchair guy watching the game?
Football has always been fun for me. I love it. But I'll tell you this, there's some guys sitting there with their arms on chairs right now thinking they can do better than 6 punts in 6 possessions.
Starting from the 7-yard line of the Buccaneers, first down, and the handoff to Warwick Dunn. And so far, the running game has been snuffed out by both teams.
Nick, this Washington defense has been, all season long, they've been ridiculed. And Mike Nolan and his staff made an adjustment. And one of the adjustments was go back to basics. And just play your gap responsibility and maintain your discipline. The ironic thing in this game is what he's espousing there is just what Tony Dungy does. It's the exact same thing. Just play your basics and make the other team have to come to you.
Well, so far this game has been a mirror image, and that is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Redskins nothing and the Buccaneers nothing. Bucs NFL Sunday will continue right after these messages.
Now take a journey to a beautiful, happy place. And Debbie, where are you? In a beautiful garden. Brad, I'm on a sandy beach. Richard.
I'm at my computer trading stocks on Ameritrade for $8.
$8? Flat rate?
$8.
I'm off the beach. I'm trading stocks.
Chance with the freedom Ameritrade brings.
Trading with Ameritrade is very relaxing.
The world is very large, and it spins very fast. Every once in a while, however, something unusual happens. We slow down. We come together. And that is when the Earth really starts spinning. That's why we are doing what we can to make it easier for the human race to stay united.
You can turn hopes and dreams into reality when you give through the United Way. At this learning center, those with developing disabilities are getting the vital help they need. Together, we're solving problems, getting results you can see. The NFL, the United Way, and you, the power of teamwork.
The Washington Post calls Malcolm the best new sitcom of the season.
Bye, Jumpy. May he rest in pieces.
Malcolm in the Middle after The Simpsons, all new tomorrow.
Start of the second quarter, and you would think it's kind of a Tampa Bay game as both teams starting cautiously, it seems, in this game.
Well, again, both teams wanted this kind of a start. You know, Tony Dungy told us he's fine as long as the game can stay close. He's very happy with it. And Norv Turner told us right at the start of the game that the beginning of the game was very important. They had to be able to control the line of scrimmage and come out of it nicely, and they have.
Almost waiting for one break to happen to open up this game. Second down and 9 from the 8-yard line, and the handoff is to Dunn with a stutter step, and Dunn brings it out to about the 14-yard line, short by about 4 yards. Derrick Smith, the middle linebacker, making the tackle.
If you notice exactly what this Washington defense is, they're shifting, and what they're trying to do is confuse you up front. You're going to watch the defensive line. They wait till you get set, and at the last second they shift. And what that does is it creates sometimes quick thinking on the line of scrimmage. For the offensive men, now they have to adjust. And what you're doing there is you're trying to go a little fast to make somebody make a mental error.
3rd and 2, and Dukwe Kalu, one of the pass rushers on the nickel, coming into the game, but it's a running play to Warwick Dunn. And Sam Shade making the tackle. And it looks to be short of the first down, but we'll wait to see where they spot the ball.
That'd be a good spot. It looked like he was really close on that one. You know, just going through this whole thing and looking at this game, Sam Shade's made a difference with this Washington defense. And just watching the tape, it looked to me like at about the midpoint of the season is where he finally got comfortable with what he was doing in the scheme. And once he became comfortable, they became a better defense.
Former Cincinnati Bengal, who has come in and done a tremendous job, and this defensive team may be indeed the underrated. Short of the first down by less than the length of a football, and so Mark Royals will come out, and Tony Dungy, the Buccaneers, will have to kick.
Dick, if you notice what's happened, at the end of that first quarter, the Redskins got a little bit of a drive and gave themselves their field position back. And because of their last drive, that should set up decent field position now on this punt.
Royals will kick from about the 1-yard line, and Brian Mitchell poised to give the Redskins decent field position. This kick's not as high, and Mitchell will have a return. And Mitchell to the 45, and a good hit, and out of bounds, but not that far from midfield. That was Don Davis, one of the outstanding special teams players, after a 50-yard kick by Royals.
My mom used to say, do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail for other people. I realize that I'm tremendously blessed to have been born to the parents that I was born to. My dad was a coach at Georgia School for the Deaf. I grew up in an environment where deaf kids kind of adopted me in their culture, gave me my first lessons on inclusion and sharing. Thank all of you for coming to the camp today. So I learned from Mom and Dad about helping other people. When I first went to Merrill Lynch, I was very impressed with Steve Malone. He was very easy to talk to, and he listened well. It's important for all of us to listen well. You find so many people that have so much to say they're unable to listen to what you're saying. And to cooperate. Work hard and try your best. Every day you're building your future. 20 years now. Where they going?
Need help with those?
I can do it. 20 years. I don't know.
I mean, you just caught an edge. It happens.
I sit and I wonder sometimes.
Year after year, it's good to have someone you can depend on. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
This Fox NFC Divisional Playoff game is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By FreeEye.net, get totally free internet access. Download FreeEye.net because the internet was meant to be free. By Merrill Lynch, be bullish. And by Microsoft, where do you want to go today?
No score early in the second quarter, and overall the field position battle is even. But lately, the Redskins have had the edge, and they have their best start, their own 46-yard line. First down. This entire field now being played in the shadows. The second quarter gets underway in the second play, and the catch made by Michael Westbrook, his first catch of the game, and a pickup of 4.
Let's go back to the special teams. Watch Floyd Young and Leomon Evans. That's the first one. And watch right here. Bang. McAfee by Sean Barber got waxed. And that's some good special teams play. In the words of Jed Clampett, woo, doggies. Those boys sure can hit.
Barber moving into the starting role at outside linebacker this season. Second down and 6. And a fumble by Stephen Davis on a fake end around. And Davis recovers his own fumble. And Warren Sapp is shaken up for Tampa Bay,
holding his left knee. working against Sims. Nothing, 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 and then that just looks like he fell. Like Steve White just kind of pushed against him, and he... Well, here's the fumble. Like Stephen Davis got out a little bit too far, but that handoff was good enough. Davis should have had that thing. See, he goes out a little wide. He didn't get his hands open. Hey, all of you ball carriers out there, college, high school, at any level, you've got to get those elbows open so he can see the ball into his stomach where you can control it.
Sapp comes out of the game, and Anthony McFarland, number 92, who was the first-round pick out of LSU for Tampa Bay and played well when he was used in there now. 3rd down and 9 from the 47. Brad Johnson getting some pressure, and on the screen pass, Larry Centers driving toward the markers, but will come up short, though he does get into Buccaneer territory. And that will be Derrick Brooks, also heading for the Pro Bowl on the tackle, and looks like Sapp is up and yammering again.
Well, he's a good yammerer, but he's an even better player. And what he does well is he's got a great motor. Remember a year ago he said, hey, I was too fat. I was too fat, I didn't play well. He dropped himself like 40 pounds, and this year he's responded NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
Carl Williams back deep, and Matt Turk will punt.
Look at his chin strap. You can tell it's a kicker.
And going for the block were the Buccaneers, but Turk gets it off, and Williams in traffic makes the grab. But once again, this game being played, it seems, inside the 10-yard line for both clubs.
Field position game.
Weddings always make me cry. Who are you? I'm the 1-800-COLLECT advice guy.
We could use some.
Talk to me. Well, we don't know how to tell our parents that we just... Simple. Use 1-800-COLLECT. Save them a buck or two, and they'll have to approve.
1-800-COLLECT. Save some money. Thanks.
No, not the advice guy. Use 1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
And now, a simple question for everyone who isn't a millionaire quite yet.
Okay.
Where should you look on the web to get total internet service absolutely free?
Oh, I know this one. It's freei.net.
Total internet service?
Yep.
Absolutely free?
Yeah, it's freei.net.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Freei.net.
Definitely. Freei.net.
Want to phone a friend?
We're at the crossroads.
We know how hard it was to get here.
There is no reason to stop now. Countdown begins.
It's our time. Let's go. Get this party started.
Countdown begins. The NFL playoffs. One glittering goal. The NFL playoffs. One glittering goal. The NFL playoffs.
Mark becomes a faith healer.
Satan, eat my shorts.
I see the light that burns.
And all new Simpsons at 8/7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Buccaneers missing Paul Gruber, the 12-year veteran, out with a broken leg. Very tough to miss the situation with the Bucs winning the division and getting the bye into the playoffs, the divisional playoff. Team record 183 games with the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay starting from the 7-yard line. Mike Alstott getting the handoff, and Alstott can't find any running room. And right now, let's check in with Pam Oliver.
All right, Dick Stadium went silent there when Warren Sapp went down, but he's fine. Sapp suffered a gash in his left shin. He will not need stitches, and he will return. Back to you.
All right, Pam. So Warren Sapp and Warwick Dunn, one star on each side of the ball, have been sent to the sidelines with injuries thus far, but both apparently responding. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 9. Again, there's Alstott. And again, the Redskins are right there. No running room today for the Bucs.
Did you see the shift, Dick?
Yes.
They shifted. They gave him one look, then they shifted over. Part of it I talked about was maybe make a mental mistake. The other part is to show him where the weakness is first. And then you see right here, you have a linebacker, nothing.
Now you shift your defensive line over into an under defense, an under front, where your 3 defensive line are away from the tight end. You run right in it. That's good defense.
This was billed as an offense versus defensive matchup. Both teams are playing extremely well defensively. Shaun King, 3rd down and 9. King from the goal line. And the pass incomplete, and pressure put on that time by Sam Shade on a safety blitz, and that will bring up 4th down, and then Ndukwe Kalu also in on the act.
Yeah, and then they bring Kalu in specifically for that. Because what he does, he's a pretty good pass rusher. Came from the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's beating Pearson, a spot which is normally occupied by Paul Gruber. And then on the front side, watch Sam Shade. He's a shady character. And what he did very, very well was use his own man to shade work done so he couldn't get to him.
Mark Royals with the kick, and Brian Mitchell will let it bounce. And in a field position game match, notice how the Redskins have had the edge. They're gaining ground each time and will start this series in Tampa Bay territory. That was a 35-yard kick and a little extra scrum going on.
Well, my man, it's a big interview. I gotta look sharp, impress the man, woo the ladies, work a little Shazam magic. Comprende? By the way, nice rug.
Thank you. Suppression work.
Play your hand at hotjobs.com, the hottest hand on the web.
Thinking about hair loss?
Would you like a toupee, sir?
Excuse me? Would you like some pate?
No, thank you.
Well, now there are effective FDA-approved treatments for men's hair loss. Millions of men have already started using them. So what are you waiting for?
Doesn't look good, does it?
Call your doctor today or call 1-800-49-MERC to find out more.
It's only halftime.
Merck, helping make hair loss history.
Honey, I know it's your birthday tomorrow, but Mommy has to go away on a business trip. Tell you what, you know that new bike you wanted for your birthday? Mommy will get it for you. That new video game, huh? Okay, you tell Mommy what you want, whatever it is. You got it. Hey, happy birthday.
Visa Platinum, exceptional credit limit and worldwide acceptance. Purchase power for when it really counts.
Does this mean I can't get the bike?
Yo, driver, does this ride go to Wall Street, the Mecca of finance, the Babylon of billionaires? I'm on a pilgrimage of wealth and greed.
Where you from? Freaking Mars.
Play your hand at hotjobs.com, the hottest hand on the web.
Fox Sunday. Enter a world of illusion.
Mulder, his head was cut off.
Abracadabra, man.
The X-Files. All new. Tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Hey, this is a great flurry of special teams play. I want you to watch Tim Denton right there. And Brian Mitchell down here. The ball's loose. Denton's close. Brian Mitchell screams at him. Hot ball to get away. And at the end, Buckley comes in, and this is smart football. The whistle has not blown. Buckley has no risk. If he takes that ball and advances it and is tackled, it's where he advances. If anything happens like a fumble, doesn't matter, comes back to where it was down.
Speaking of back, Warren Sapp, as Pam reported, back in its defensive tackle. First down on the 43 of the Bucs. Little razzle-dazzle by Brad Johnson, and the pass to Stephen Davis, and Davis picking up only 2 yards after all of that. And we want to report as well that Rondy Barber is out for the second straight series. Brian Kelly is the other cornerback with Donnie Abraham.
You see Donnie Abraham there. Remember earlier I spoke to you about you'll see good tackling? Not only good tackling, but outstanding corner play in the run game. Abraham came up, made Trey Johnson miss, and then came back and made the play.
There is Barber on the sideline. Second down and 9. Here's Davis. And Davis driving. Flag is down. Maybe our first, and it is our first penalty of the game as Davis gets to the 39 where Derrick Brooks makes the tackle. Dick Cantack indicates holding against the Redskins.
Another thing that I've always enjoyed about playoff football is you get excellent officiating. And they let you play, pretty much. It's guys who understand the game maybe a little bit better and had excellent years.
Holding. Number 63. The play in beyond the line of scrimmage. The whole place beyond the line of scrimmage. Eyes from the spot of the hole. 10 yards. Repeat the down. Second down.
And obviously Dick Hantak's microphone breaking up, and the lead blocker was Keith Sims, and Donnie Abraham now being helped off. So right now the Buccaneers are without their starting corners.
Well, that puts a little damper, and there's Ronde Barber comes right back out.
No, they're not.
You go down, I go back in. That puts a little Dick, what that does is puts a little bit of damper into the calling of the defenses by Monty Kiffin, because he likes to use, you hear about that cat blitz, that's the corner coming.
Second down and 17, and the pass up the middle is caught by Connell, and a first down. Albert Connell, who has been the chief target thus far, and a little jawing going on right now between Damian Robinson and Michael Westbrook, but a 19-yard strike, and the Redskins get to the Bucs 31.
What they're getting to is to the deep inside. They're going to play the disciplined defense. You saw the linebacker get the deep drop, but he was able to get between, right there, the secondary and the linebackers. And because of the protection, the nice throw. Now, at the end of this play, that's just a little bit of posturing. Here's the reason why. There's nothing wrong with that kind of block. Robinson took exception to it, and they carried it a little bit extra.
And a timeout call. Brad Johnson goes to the sideline. We are still scoreless.
If you're looking for horsepower, look at Chevy Silverado. Because Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup. More powerful than Dodge. More powerful than Ford. 300 horsepower. That's why it's the truck. Silverado from Chevy.
We've had success with that.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Our company's made huge strides in e-commerce.
No, who hasn't?
We've got web-based order tracking. We can analyze our customer data in all kinds of ways. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the same with us.
Yeah. So how did you guys integrate your ERP?
Bert? Confused about e-business? Don't be. Get the software, services, and partners that make it easier. The business internet starts with Microsoft.
Last Sunday, over 31 million viewers turned Malcolm in the Middle into television's newest hit.
Well, I guess you kids really didn't do any major harm, so I've decided to let you off.
No! You idiot! The Washington Post calls it the best new comedy of the season. It's Seinfeldian in its pure crazed hilarity.
What's your pleasure? Nature Dog? Tofu Square?
Good God. And Time Magazine raves Malcolm is full of belly laughs.
Either speed up or get off the road, jackass!
Absolutely deserve it. An all-new Malcolm in the Middle, tomorrow at 8:30, 7:30 Central, after The Simpsons on Fox.
Cornerback Donnie Abraham, who was helped off, suffered a mild knee strain, and he is expected to return to the game as well. So there have been some nicks on the part of the Buccaneers, and they have all come back. That's Ronde Barber, who was out there with Brian Kelly. The other cornerback, Warren Sapp, came out, and Tony Dungy now trying to hope his defense holds. The Redskins are averaging over 4 yards on first down. And we have a stoppage. Redskins calling that timeout before we are at last break.
There was a malfunction of the game clock. The game had ceased running. That's the reason we reset at 3:33.
And a slight malfunction to the microphone used by Dick Hantak today. So,
Dick, you know it's a slight malfunction with Kip Vickers, the left offensive tackle. And I've never seen a stance like this in my life. He has a left offensive tackle stance, but he puts his right hand down with his right foot up. I've never seen that before.
Redskins from the 31-yard line, and the handoff to Stephen Davis, who gets a big opening, and a first down inside the Bucs 20-yard line. Barber and Lynch, but not before Davis gets 12, and he is the kind of weapon he was during the regular season to this point.
Watch Kip Vickers. Nice block right there. They came on a stunt. He washed him right down. opened it up, and then Michael Westbrook got the block that allowed him to get the first down. And again, this is that downhill style. Watch. Finish the run. Watch Michael Westbrook on Damian Robinson. They jawed earlier. He wins that match.
And the Redskins trying to break the scoreless tie with under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. From the 19-yard line, Brad Johnson on the reverse screen to Alexander, and the tight end picking up about 4 or 5 yards on the play with the middle linebacker, Hardy Nickerson, bringing him down.
I mentioned to you earlier about Kip Vickers, that left offensive tackle who's playing for the injured Andy Heck. Very big key. And his stance is a little unorthodox, but I spoke with Russ Grimm, the offensive line coach, and he said on the other side, and there's Russ, who is a great, great player. One of the smartest offensive linemen to play.
He looks like a hog.
He is a hog.
Second down and 6, and here is Davis showing he can still cut, and John Lynch will wrestle him out of bounds and prevent Davis from getting the first down. That'll bring up third down and about 2.5 for the Redskins, who are threatening.
And they're threatening because they're getting some physical play out of Kip Vickers. Look who he's working against, Warren Sapp. What he does, he washes them down completely. In this Tampa defense, they like a lot of movement. They're not real big, so they'll give you stunts in games. As an offensive lineman, you got to get your body on a body and then take them where they're going. Wash them down. Vickers, 2 plays, 2 pluses, sets up this third down.
Vickers and Sapp teammates at the University of Miami. And now the Redskins will call a timeout. They don't want to do anything rash as they are in good position right now. Well, the Redskins, kind of a turbulent year, even though it was a winning year. Dan Snyder taking over as the new owner of the team, and some stumbles along the way, and a tough, demoralizing overtime loss to the Cowboys in the opening game. But Brad Johnson stayed healthy and effective, and Stephen Davis was the top rusher in the NFC, and Dan Snyder giving Norv Turner, who was really a beleaguered head coach, the game ball after they clinched the NFC East title, and Norv Turner telling us that the games against the Giants in Week 2, and again when the team was 5-4 in Week 10, were the pivotal victories for his team.
And then I also think, along with pivotal victories, was the way their defense came on. And they got back to basics, and they started to play really well. I don't know if a light went on, if they started to click. They're still not overpowering, but they're playing better together as a unit.
And talk about a team under siege. And you mentioned Mike Nolan. You know, Bill Arnsparger brought in as a defensive coach or consultant. Darrell Green telling us yesterday, you don't hear much about him, but behind the scenes, you know he's getting things done. Third down and 2 from the 11-yard line, and the inside handoff to Brian Mitchell, and the Bucs stop him.
Well done. Well done by the Tampa Bay defense. John Lynch was right there. Warren Sapp was also. Just a very well done job. Watch Brad Culpepper. Takes the inside. Now watch Lynch show up. White's right there. They're all there. That's good instincts.
So the Bucs defense stiffens, and now the first opportunity to break the scoreless tie. Brett Conway will attempt a 28-yard field goal. And Conway's kick is good, and the Redskins at this point beating the Buccaneers at their own field position game have taken a 3-0 lead with 5:37 remaining in the first half.
Dick, you know as well as I, that man right there, Tony Dungy, says 3 points, nothing. My team has been in close games all year long. We're comfortable with it. If we're down by 7 or if we're down by 3, we believe we're ahead.
Well, tomorrow we have a glittering exhibition of stars on display as the Vikings with Jeff George for the great year at quarterback, not to mention the league MVP, Kurt Warner, Smith and Falk, the great running backs, and, of course, Randy Moss, Isaac Bruce, an offensive showcase on tap tomorrow on the NFC Divisional Playoff game as the Vikings go against the Rams, who had the best record in the NFC. Pre-game show begins at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific.
Just looking at that game, you said it, offensive showpiece. But I think you also have to look at the Minnesota defense, much like this Washington Redskins defense, down the stretch, not giving up big plays, and playing better together as a unit. However, in that game, I think maybe the one thing that gets overlooked is the Rams defense, which is a pretty darn good unit. That one, I'm really looking forward to that game tomorrow.
Conway's field goal giving the Redskins the lead 3-0. Warwick Dunn back to receive the kick. And Conway with the kick, and Dunn from the 6-yard line. Warwick Dunn. And Dunn is tackled at the 26-yard line by Eddie Mason.
You know, in our pregame show, Howie Long was talking about the ability of these defensive tackles to control the football game. And I believe in Tampa, Culpepper and Sapp have been doing just that. They've been handling the middle of that defense. And in Washington, Wilkinson and Stubblefield have been doing just as good a job over there.
Shaun King has completed only one pass. Warwick Dunn goes in motion to the right from the 26. And a pump fake and a pass batted in the air and incomplete. And it was Dana Stubblefield who got his hand on it.
Boy, and they had a matchup that they liked. They had a linebacker on Warwick Dunn. You know, sometimes what happens when you're a defensive lineman, if you're getting blocked at the line of scrimmage, you're not getting a lot of penetration, get your hands up. Just get your hands up, because you never know what you're going to take away. And what they were taking away was Greg Jones' matchup on Warwick Dunn, which had big play written all over.
And the Redskins felt they would need a defensive back on Dunn out of the backfield. They did not have it there. 2nd down and 10 out of the shotgun. King goes underneath to Alstott, and the Redskins clamp down in a hurry, and a gain of about 5. Derrick Smith on the tackle. 3rd down coming up. Well, Pat Hayden is the only rookie quarterback to win in the playoffs. But rookies have not done that well. 1-4 record. 4 touchdown passes, 13 interceptions, and that is the spotlight that Shaun King operates under today. 3rd down and 5. 4 wide receivers line up for the Bucs. Pressure up the middle on King. Pass caught by Dunn. And Dunn driving towards the 1st down, and may have it. He does. Warwick Dunn, who is shoved down by Marco Coleman, and Dunn shoves back, but not before the Bucs get out of trouble and pick up a 1st.
And Dick, not before the quarterback does all of the right things. Watch Shaun King. He's identifying where the blitz has to come from, and he's verbally telling everyone up front what has to happen. Give your protection. Now he sees it, sees the clock, gets set, makes the throw, because what he did earlier in guiding everybody, the protection is right.
And how poised he looks when you look in his eyes. 1st down from the 38-yard line, and a play action. And King going up top for Jacquez Green. And the pass is broken up by Le'Mon Evans downfield. So the Bucs go deep on that instant.
Dick, that was a wasted opportunity. And this goes back to a poor throw by the quarterback. It's wide open. This ball has to be thrown this way. Throw it out, not up. Because he threw it up, Le'Mon Evans is able to come back and almost make that pick. And it's a blown opportunity because there was enough field to throw it to allow Green to use his speed and make the play.
2nd down and 10. Here comes Evans with a blitz and a handoff to Alstott. And making the big tackle there for the Redskins was Derrick Smith.
Well, you said it. That was a big tackle because they came with the blitz, and Alstott has a little bit of make you miss in there. And just that little bit of wiggle, he made a miss and came back inside. And the tackle by Smith kept them to just the 4 yards on 5 rushes.
So the Buccaneers have not mustered any kind of an offense thus far. 1 for 3 on third down conversions over 5, and they need 9 yards right now. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers call a timeout now, their first timeout of the first half. Well, the Buccaneers setting a franchise record with 11 wins this year, stumbling in the open against the Giants. A 3-4 start, but Tony Dungy remained calm. Trent Dilfer broke his collarbone in the Seattle game, and Shaun King, the rookie from Tulane, led the way on a 6-game winning streak as the Bucs won 8 of their last 9 and clinched their first NFC Central title in 18 years. And a very patient, you talk about patience being the key. This is what Tony Dungy and this team is all about.
No question. You know, really, I said it earlier, I'll reiterate. This quarterback, Shaun King, is really an extension of Tony Dungy. Both outstanding people. Both of them can laugh at themselves. Both of them have smiles on their faces for the most part. They always are working and looking to get better. And I think the world of Tony Dungy. And if I think the world of Tony Dungy, that means that I have high regard for that young quarterback.
Third down and 9 after the Buccaneers used up a timeout. 3-0, the Redskins lead. 3:03 remaining in the first half. They don't blitz now, and the pass intended for the rookie Darnell McDonald on the slant. Incomplete. Tim Denton on the cover.
This is what the plan appears to be under defensive coordinator Mike Nolan. If they can get him into third and long, they will show blitzes, and they will force him to have to go to his checks because they're going to have to identify them and then go with their blitz reads. And once they do that, that time they showed it and came off it, and the ball came out quick and was easily defended.
Mark Royals kicking. Brian Mitchell with a fair catch on the 12-yard line. Well, from high above, these pictures are from the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes, a 75-year-old tradition for the Goodyear Blimps to make appearances at major sporting events. And today, the NFC Divisional Playoff. And it's the only game this week between teams that won their respective divisions. And, Matt, I have to say right now that the Washington Redskins seem to be controlling this game, even though it is only 3-0.
Yeah, well, I think it goes back to what we saw last night when we sat and talked to a lot of them. It was that confidence. It was a respectful confidence. They knew that this Tampa Bay defense was good, but they also knew that they were pretty darn good as well.
And we'll see how good they are starting from the 12. Brad Johnson handing off to Stephen Davis. Tested the middle and bounced away for a gain of only 1.
And you see who made that stop right there, looking right on the top. That's John Lynch. And the reason that John Lynch is right there is because this is where, you see him up here? And he's just kind of being sneaky out there, and then he's going to shade himself up nice and slowly. Remember, when he walks down in that 8-man front, he becomes unaccounted for. And he becomes the free man when you can just run to the ball and make the play. And his Pro Bowl selection tells you how good he did.
1 of 4 on that defensive unit. Second down and 9. Short drop, and the pass headed for Centers. Incomplete, and that'll bring up third and long.
But they had right there in that formation, they had a little bit of a mismatch, something that probably won't happen again. They had Steven Alexander, their tight end, who can flat out run, versus John Lynch, who has problems sometimes with a speed guy. Even though he's a tight end, Alexander can run. One thing you have to remember about this offense is they give you lots of different sets, and they force you to adjust to them.
Third down and 9, and play fake. Connell downfield, and there he is again. Albert Connell, who has found the open spaces today, and Brad Johnson has hit him virtually every time. A gain of 23 yards. Derrick Brooks, the linebacker, downfield. And the 2-minute warning here in Tampa with the Redskins leading the Bucs 3.
Who's the best Super Bowl team ever?
Well, Rebecca, football is a complicated sport most women don't understand. But I'd have to say Dallas and their gloomy day defense.
You mean doomsday defense?
Then there's the Pittsburgh satin curtain.
Steel curtain.
Whatever. At least we both drink Miller Lite because it tastes great, right?
Well, actually, I like it because it's less filling, but it's nice to drink with such a football expert.
You know, I was a guard for the Packers.
Jimmy, you were parking lot security.
Taste the true Pilsner.
Are you looking down my shirt?
Shannon Sharp, please. Has always talking trash.
You're paying, baby!
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorse, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes, he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a P/E ratio?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm,
How diversified is your portfolio?
we created a smarter kind of investor.
You can't even spell Dow Jones. Okay, guys, let's get this right. To calculate a P/E ratio, you divide the stock price. Yeah, through the top. The more money we come across, the more money we see. I'm coming over. They wait for me. Like the more money we come across, the more problems we see. Hey, yeah, through the top.
NFL Under the Helmet mixes music and football. Join hosts Ron Pitts and Jill Arrington Saturdays at noon Eastern on Fox.
It's the Presidential Mambo.
Little piece of Connie on Air Force One.
And all new Mad TV, late night tonight on Fox.
The 2-minute warning here with the Redskins leading 3-0. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have first half analysis and highlights of today's early game between Miami and Jacksonville. Plus our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats, all coming up on the Visa halftime report. First down at the 36 for Brad Johnson, who's been protected well, and gets it off to Brian Mitchell, who makes a two-top catch, but will lose about 2 or 3 yards on the play.
I think I want to show you the play earlier than this, the one previous. It's how to attack this defense. Hardy Nickerson is the key. He gets deep down the middle of what's called cover 2. So what Norv does is he occupies him with Michael Westbrook. And now he clears that area. And because he can clear that, Connell can come in from the backside and make a big play.
Connell with 4 catches for 59 yards, and the Redskins winning big in the total yard derby. 2nd and 12 from the 34-yard line. And Brad Johnson with his pass, it's caught up to the 40 by Irving Fryer, but the clock continues to run. The Redskins have 1 timeout remaining.
Dick, it's interesting. I love good football, and this is really good football because Monty Kiffin, what he does, it's not a traditional cover 2. They take their 2 safeties and they keep them deep, and then they run their middle linebacker, Hardy Nickerson, right down the middle, almost giving him a 3-deep look. You can see he's still looking at his knee. But what Norv Turner tries to do instead is he uses the defense against you. So he occupies people and then brings it in between.
5 defensive backs, including Donnie Abraham for the Buccaneers. 3rd down and 6. And a play action being chased. And Steve White on the sack, getting Brad Johnson from behind. And that is the 2nd sack of the game for Tampa Bay.
This is excellent coverage. Rondé Barber, again, this is the zone. No place to throw to the outside. Good disciplined zone. And then Connell, which was his main receiver. Nice job by Quarles. Nickerson also right there. And because of that, as he's looking downfield, nowhere to throw, sacked by White.
And the Buccaneers have called a timeout, and Steve White, who is the least noticed of a very impressive defensive front 4 by the Buccaneers, getting the sack. And the clock stops with 26 seconds to go, and Warren Sapp gingerly walking to the locker room.
This is the play previous, working on Keith Sims and Vickers to that side. Sims does a nice job of just staying on them. He's not a healthy Warren Sapp, and he knows it right away. He takes himself out of the game.
Earlier suffered a gash to the shin. Did not need any stitches, came back in, but he's history for this half as Matt Turk delivers a sky-high punt and a fair catch called by Williams at the 19-yard line. Coming into the game, the ultimate in contrast of style. Redskins with the 2nd best offense in the league, the Buccaneers with the 3rd best defense. And defensively and offensively the other way. Brad Johnson now running off, and he is...
he's giving you that Florida State.
Florida State. He's in the right place.
Yeah. Florida's a little closer than Florida State from here. In Jacksonville's, you have to make a Louis up there, and Florida's just dead ahead.
Earlier in the AFC, 2 Florida teams playing. Actually, one took down Miami, Jacksonville, in a demolishing game. First down, Shaun King. And the pass is caught to Jacquez Green, stopping the clock with 13 seconds to go in the half. And the Buccaneers get out to their 41.
A lot of time to throw that football. And they're only rushing 3 guys. You have 5 blocking them. And what you're guessing is that you're not going to be able to find the hole in the zone. With 3 rushing, that means there's 8 defenders. That was a nice completion, but an ugly throw. And a Joe Cappish.
Former Minnesota Viking.
Tough guy.
Non-picturesque quarterback. Good pickup of the blitz and going deep for Green, and Darrell Green is there, and the pass is ruled incomplete. So Green on Green again, and that was a long pass attempt by Shaun King.
Well, rule number 1, and Darrell Green's been playing rule number 1 for 17 years. Don't get beat deep in the zone. You see this cushion? With that cushion, I don't care if it's Michael Johnson running out there, you're not going to get behind Darrell Green. The only thing that surprised me there is he didn't come up with an interception, and thankfully for them, he didn't, because if they did, who would play quarterback?
That's true.
Since we saw Brad Johnson run into the locker room.
6 seconds remaining in the first half. Time running out. Shaun King is going to throw it up for grabs down the middle of the field. And it is incomplete. Those are one of those plays that you have to hold your breath, because you never know on a deflection if one of the offensive ends pick it up. Darnell McDonald was the intended receiver. Norv Turner runs off the field with the lead, and that is the end of the first half with the score. The Redskins 3, the Buccaneers nothing. Stay tuned for the Visa Halftime Report with JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
This is Fox Sports News Primetime.
We're back, and so is the Alice through the looking glass. Damn shame about that nasty French Revolution world of the International Olympic Committee. IOC godfather Juan Antonio Samaranch testified in front of a congressional inquiry today, and among other things, addressed the $12,000 Atlanta organizers spent to bring his wife and a friend to Georgia in 1990. The American South is famous for its hospitality, Samaranch explained.
We understand that the alarm clock always goes off 5 minutes before you're ready, and that the roller coaster ride has just begun. We understand overtime, and bath time, and bedtime. We understand that there are only 24 hours in a day. We believe you should be able to pick any one of them to do your banking. AmSouth Bank, the relationship people.
Attention, Buccaneers fans. Season tickets for the 2000 season will be on sale all day Monday at Raymond James Stadium from 12 noon until 9 p.m. so you can pick your exact seat location. Remember, should the Buccaneers play in the NFC Championship game at Raymond James Stadium, all new season ticket holders will be guaranteed the right to purchase tickets to the championship game. For more information, check your local sports section or visit Buccaneers.com and feel the power.
After you.
No, after you.
No. I insist.
Please.
Sebring Coupe, Sebring Convertible. Either one is a very nice
to the other.
I'm Kelly Ring, and you're watching the Bucs in the playoffs on Fox 13.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Talk about a defensive battle in the first half. Stephen Davis could not come up with the breakaway run in the first half. Only 3-0 Washington up. More punts, 11, than first downs, 9 in the first half. As we welcome you to the Visa Halftime. And how, as you take a look at the difficulties experienced by the offensive line of Tampa.
Yeah, Matt Nolan pointed it out, and what they're doing is they're lining their defensive front up in, let's say, an oval with 3 defensive linemen to the strong side of the formation. Right before the snap, they're shifting the entire defensive line. This has given Tampa Bay problems a lot this year. The way you combat that is, 1, you go on quick counts. 2, you go with check with me's with the quarterback. Allow them to shift and then audibilize the play. Remember, you're at home.
And the other thing is that I look at this Washington offense and Brad Johnson and Norv Turner and people who live in Washington and watch this team every week and all the points they put up going to think I'm crazy. But I think this has been their best half of football. Everybody who plays against Tampa Bay and gets beat, they get beat because of the mistakes that they made. It's been a very conservative game plan by the Redskins. It's working perfectly. I love where they are in this game.
Okay, who has the advantage? We have a 3-0 Skins lead. We really don't have much offense. We have a lot of defense. Howie, Chris, who do you see with the advantage?
Tampa Bay typically wins these types of games.
Chris?
With the rookie quarterback, I'm going with Washington.
And I'm going to go to the fourth quarter and use what you said and when we're getting ready for this and say that Alstott is the guy in the fourth quarter.
Usually the difference.
Make a note of it. Chris switched from Tampa Bay at the beginning of the game now to Washington. All right, folks, speaking of a beating.
He's like that.
First time ever, JB.
Humiliation more describes what happened to Miami today and Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson hoping this guy, Dan Marino, has a big game. Last week, remember, kept it simple, played well. But, boy, you talk about playing well. Brunel hands off Fred Taylor off the right side. Broken tackles, bad tackling all day by Minnesota. This is the longest run in the NFL postseason. This is historical. 90-yard touchdown Taylor. 17-0 Jacksonville. Marino back, trying to get something going. Tony Bracken's in on the backside, knocks the ball loose, scoops the ball up. Don't dance now. Hold it, get up. Get in the end zone. You haven't been tackled. Move it. Take him by spot. Show him where to go. Now, Dan. Hello. Wake up, somebody. 24-0 Jacksonville. Brunel back. Taylor out of the backfield. There comes missed tackle number 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Count them. Add that one. 6. Taylor, touchdown, 31-0, final 55-7, and then, well, that's the score at this point. Sprinkler comes on, which means Jimmy, get the soap out, get the towels, take a shower. This baby is history. Wow, what a game, Jacksonville, 62-7. How humiliating.
Second worst playoff loss ever in NFL history, and Dan Marino was asked all season long, and again today, was this your last game?
I've talked about this many times already this year, and I'll wait and see as the time goes on, see the circumstances here with the Dolphins and myself, and you know how I feel, and decide sometime later on. But you know, I still feel like I win games in this league, and I've proven that, and I can continue to do that. But you know, we'll see.
I've never been on this side before, and again, it's. I feel bad for our guys. I wish I at least had them fresh coming into this game to at least give them a chance, but I didn't give them a chance, and that's what we got to live with.
A very humble Jimmy Johnson, and it certainly sounds to me like Dan Marino wants to come back next year. But what did Jimmy Johnson mean, Howie, when he says, I didn't give my guys a chance to win?
Well, I think maybe Jimmy made the decision to work them hard, you know, in the week leading up to this football game, and obviously coming off a long road trip. He, in his opinion right now, and you can sit there and pick this thing apart, that was a poor decision. Two very proud guys, Chris, that I just don't see them going out this way.
Really? I think this is the end of an era. I really do. I don't think that Jimmy Johnson particularly wanted to come back last season, sort of got talked into it. But it has always been Jimmy's style to practice these guys hard, even before the Super Bowls, 2-hour practices in pads, and maybe it come back to bite him in this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Jimmy will step down. That's just my opinion. I read into Dan Marino's comments in post-game interviews. He does not want to retire. I don't expect him to retire unless Jimmy comes back. I just don't think. It's unfortunate that Jimmy Johnson and Dan Marino has been such a big issue all year long.
A saga, you know. Up, I tried a quick note. All right, coming up, second half, it'll be Dick, Matt, and we love you, Pam Oliver.
with technology unavailable in any other SUV. Just how smooth is the ride of the Land Rover? The Land Rover Discovery